Now, AA came out of the Oxford group. There's no question about that. In 1955, when Bill W., spoke at the Second International Convention of AA, he said that all of our principles came from the Oxford group and no place else.
The Oxford group was not a church. It was an effort to get people to go back to the origins of their particular religion and practice it as originally taught, getting away from all of the intervening dogma that have sprung up by just getting through all of the clutter and the mythology and everything else and get back to the teachings of Christ and St. Paul and the other great thinkers of that era.
I think the Oxford group tried to avoid any terminology that connected them to any one religion. They made a special point of reaching out to people from all faiths. Now, I think this is probably mostly Protestant Christianity. They weren't adopting ideas from the East or anything like this, like a lot of people do today, you know. When a minister named Frank Bookman, he was the founder of the Oxford group, and right at the beginning, he started having some success with alcoholics. And he didn't consider that the major part of his work. Really, he considered his work to bring about world peace. When he heard that alcoholics were being helped, he said, I'm all for helping the drunks, but we've got drunken nations on our hands. And in the early 1920s, his fellowship, it was growing up, it was called the First Century Christian Fellowship. And these principles were that you admitted your faults, made confession, you might say, and then you tried to help others. You made restitution for the harm you had done, and you also sought guidance from God, and did this through daily prayer and meditation. And all of these things eventually became the 12 steps of AA, one way or another.
One of the most important principles was if you have a problem or a question that you can't resolve, surrender it to God. Surrender is one of the principles of the Oxford group's approach. The Oxford group would think you were wrong if you tried to imply that God was telling you whatever you did and was right. Rather, humility is one of the secrets of success, you might say.